indeed. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that giant. Look at that thing right there. Woo! Thank you, Jesus. Oh my goodness, look at that big old headed thing. Look at that thing. Folks, he has done it again. Dakota Ebare is the hottest thing in bass fishing. We just wrapped up stop number 2 at the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals at Clarks Hill, and you got it done. Congratulations, man.
Whew. That's all I can say. I mean, I'm whooped, man. It has been a, you know, it turned out great, but it has been a lot of work this week.
Dude, the last few years have been a wild ride. You have been really close a number of times. You won the Toyota Series at Rayburn. Got it done in really dominating fashion there. Got it done in dominating fashion here. I guess, do you want to go out and like show me how it's done? See if I can have a little bit of Ocho rub off?
We're down here in the spotted bass land, so they're fun as all. Get out and catch, so we can go catch a couple more of those, maybe even catch another largemouth. I mean, the one I caught a while ago wasn't too far from here, so.
Alrighty, well, let's hop out there and teach folks how it's done.
Let's do it.
So Dakota, we're out here, we're kind of just pulled up to a pretty random point, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you ran a really multifaceted game plan, and honestly, this was kind of part of it. Or a lot of things are part of it.
Yeah. So much so that it confused the heck out of me. I mean, I was just running, you know, whatever my instinct told me to do at that time. And it was a lot of stuff, and that kind of made it a lot more stressful for me, because I had a lot of like stuff that I felt like I could do to have, you know, a good day, but you can't do all of it at once. You gotta, you know, be in the right place.
Yeah,
at the right
you
time.
gotta move around.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you your boat back.
No, it's okay. I mean, there's just bass swimming around everywhere, so I don't know why you would not want to have control of that foot pedal, because that Garmin live scope was showing them all to us, and
oh, hey, there's one like right here.
Yeah, they're all over the place. But you know, all of these points are set up like this. These fish are swimming in. We're not very far from the main lake, and this is a stopping point for fish that are going to go a little bit further back to spawn, and it's also a place where a lot of these fish are gonna spawn. These fish on these herring lakes, I'm not no expert on them, but I know that they want to be close to the herring.
Yeah.
Even when they're spawning. So they'll spawn on some of these points that these herring live on. And so, you know, I spent a lot of time main lake this week, and I think that was key.
I hear you. Yeah, you ran some brush, you ran pockets, you really, I mean, you caught some fish off docks. Did you catch any on bed?
Not that I saw.
Okay,
I didn't sight fish any. You know, I didn't want to get into that because I knew there would be some up there, but man, this time of year, whenever they're just coming up, like my experience on these reservoirs like this, they get real skittish. They're not really locked down very good. It's pretty tough.
You're gonna leave that to John Cox, basically.
Yeah, we'll let John. And here's another thing. Like, I'll be honest. Like, you gotta pay attention to what's going on around you, right?
Yep.
If they were up there, John would have cracked them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like, seeing his weight, like, not that he had a great event, but he's not. You know, if he was bringing in 20 a day, like, that would tell me
that you got to.
They're locked on. Well,
not
not even that I necessarily need to go do it, but that they're locked on, that they're on beds.
Yeah.
You know, they're up there, or not even they're locked on. That there's a lot of big ones up shallow. But seeing guys, you know, that are great anglers up shallow, kind of, you know, struggling or not really having like big bags, that kind of told me like, look, man, you need to keep that deep game honest as well. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what I did.
Day one was your big day. How were you catching them then? Because you had like a pretty hot morning, but then I feel like you caught a lot of fish in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was an all-day deal. I mean, I think the pressure really got to a lot of those fish. There was other competitors in those areas, and I think that was, you know, probably why some of those shallow fish, you know, they had already got caught, or, you know, and it didn't reload, which is kind of weird. I figured that it would, but it didn't. And, you know, I was running, I started out on a ditch kind of right off the main lake, and there was a ton of fish in it. I caught 15 pounds pretty quick. I ran to a dock that I'd seen some big ones on in practice, skipped underneath it, caught a 5-pounder. You know, I mean, it was just, things were rolling.
Everything was happening.
It was just happening, and I was just in the right place at the right time that day, and it was actually really fun. I started running shallow, little small pockets right off the main lake with a vibrating jig, targeting shallow cover. And first one I pulled in, catch a 6-pounder. Second one I pull in, catch a 6-pounder. You know, so I'm at, you know, mid-20s at that point. So like, it's like, you know, I kind of started practicing a little bit. I started laying off some areas and just looking at areas that I might want to, you know, fish later in the event. So it was a lot of fun. That's probably a striper. I don't know, maybe not. Could be just, oh, no, that's not a striper. Oh.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Here we go. Random point. Come on through. Get him, bud, get him. Oh, man.
Yeah. So the deal was kind of, look at that. That's a largemouth.
The deal was, is it?
That's a spot. Nice spot there.
The deal is just, oh my God, look at how many worms he spit up.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is not a smart fish, folks.
Not really a smart fish.
I mean, incredible.
But, so throwing around the shaky head, right?
Yep.
Got an Ocho on it, striking shaky head with an Ocho. And the deal with these spots though, if you see me, like he ate it and I let him swim from like, you know, 10, 15 feet because if you didn't, you wouldn't get him.
He on the bottom too.
Yeah.
Like you saw him high.
So he was high, swam down the bottom, picked it up, and then I let him swim with it because you'd miss him every time.
No kidding.
Because yeah, they wouldn't get it unless you let them swim with it for a while. So that was definitely key, like because they were short striking a lot.
Okay. That's cool. And like that's a quality fish. That's not a winning fish, but a key fish.
It's a good fish though. Yeah, I mean you can see he's like right there, and then there's look right here.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there he's seen it. Oh, you're moving too fast.
Slower?
It's just a wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Well, you probably haven't ruined him now, but
I thought he was.
He's falling.
There we go. Got him.
It's a little shake, 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 shake. Is that a big one?
It's not a bad one.
Oh. Oh.
Come around here, buddy. Look at this.
Got you
one.
It's
a spotted bass. Yeah. Now, that's a penalty, but we're not going to worry too much about it.
No, that's next week's a penalty.
Yeah.
Now.
I got to say, one thing is, I really like this lake because it's got fish like all over the place,
lots of bass. I mean, I have no skin left on my hands. There's lots of bass.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
right?
it's a good problem to have.
Dakota, you caught fish on a bunch of things this week.
Yeah.
What were like a couple of your key setups? Because you were doing everything from bait caster to spinner pole stuff.
I would say this was my key setup right here. So this is a 3/16 shaky head from Strike King with an Ocho on it. Real simple. 12-pound fluorocarbon. And then I was throwing it on a Hyper Mag. It's an 8-3-1. And this is a 7-foot medium heavy Elite Series rod from Lew's. So, you know, pretty simple setup, and I use this bait, it was very versatile for me. Like, I was targeting fish out in open water with it.
Yep.
I was targeting fish in brush piles, and I was even targeting fish in laydowns with it. So, you know, it was a key bait. I caught that 8-pounder on this. I caught the 4-pounder today that won the tournament for me right there at the last minute.
It's key.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really probably one of the biggest players. And it was the reason why I targeted those fish in open water with it. A lot of times the spotted bass would eat it before it ever hit the bottom. I think it's just the way that it would fall, kind of glide down. And I could see it well. The pollen was really bad.
Yeah.
Everybody with forward-facing sonar was having issues with the pollen in the water you can barely see because it's so thick. And this little bit bigger bait, I could see it better than that Z2 on the Demiki head. So, you know, that's why I stuck with this bait. But, you know, a lot of my fish come from up shallow where I couldn't really see them on live scope. But I caught some key fish with it. So it was a week that I was all over the place.
I feel like a lot of times with a shaky head, guys throw it on a spinning rod.
Yeah.
You're from Texas, so you use a bait caster, or what's the reasoning?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, I use a spinning rod a lot, obviously. I mean,
we know.
Yeah, but not it's not my first choice. Like,
Okay.
if I can get away with a bait caster, I'm going to throw a bait caster. And, you know, just not having to deal with the leader and all of that stuff. And I could cast a really long ways with this hyper mag. I mean, I could really bomb it out there. And it's an 8-3 to 1, so I could burn it back in if I needed to.
Yep.
A lot of these spotted bass, I would have to let them really eat it, and then I'd set the hook and they'll shoot up really fast. So it's like having that high-speed reel
was really nice.
Yeah, it was nice. So I feel like I was more efficient with this week.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Dakota, we're pretty much out of light here.
It's dark, and I'm hungry.
It's dark, you're hungry, and you've won your second tournament of the year. How's it feel?
Just a blessing, man. Very thankful, very thankful. You know, there's been a lot of hard work going to the last several years of preparation for this, but, you know, it was just meant to be this week, and, you know, just very thankful for that it all worked out.
I feel like you had maybe a couple of moments during the tournament where you would say this is why it's meant to be.
Yeah. There was a few of them. Yeah.
Like you had an 8-pounder that bit twice on day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today you caught one that didn't have a hook in it.
Right. I mean, she just had her mouth closed, and I got her all the way to the boat and got her in. She wasn't even hooked. And then, you know, I catch one at 245 that weighs 4.4 and at 2-pound cull, and I win by 8 ounces. So
that's it right there.
I mean, yeah, just things are working right, you know, and very thankful.
How much of that is just you and the level that you're fishing at right now? Because I feel like right now you're fishing so well that you might paper over a mistake that 2 or 3 years ago you might have made.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I mean, I'm not going to take too much credit for it. I'm going to give God all the credit because I don't think any of this stuff could happen without him. But, you know, I mean, preparation meets opportunity equals success. You know, I believe in that. I've prepared really hard over the last several years. I mean, you know, we've talked about the schedule that I fish and the amount of time that I spend on the water, and it inevitably, you know, that kind of stuff pays off. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, a photographer or you're a carpenter or you work in a refinery or, you know, you're a fisherman or a pro baseball player. It doesn't matter. You've got to put in the time, and if you work hard enough at something, you know, you're inevitably going to get better at it. And I think that's a lot of what's going on here.
Well, I tell you what, you are about as good as it gets at it right now. And it's a pleasure to watch. And, man, congratulations on another big win.
Thanks, man. I'm not going to take it for granted. We're going to keep working hard, and we'll see how the rest of the season goes.
I like it.